Good morning, Villa fans, and welcome to a match reaction video for Aston Villa 3, Fulham 1. Finally getting that first victory of the season. Excuse my appearance. I am coming down with a cold, it feels like, and I'm feeling very, very cold out here in my sort of garden office. But yeah, wanted to talk about the game in detail. Obviously, Buendia, as I mentioned in my instant match reaction, coming on at half time and really being impactful, and really putting in a man of the match performance for me, followed by John McGinn, who I thought was very good throughout as well, and smashed in a 2-in-2 for him now from long range, from the edge of the box. So lovely to see John McGinn getting on the score sheet again. Lovely to see Buendia, but I think most importantly, Ollie Watkins opening the account. Hopefully now he can go on a streak of scoring in consecutive games, because we know what Ollie Watkins does. He won't score for a while, have a bit of a drought, and then all of a sudden it will be 5 goals in 5 games or something like that. And hopefully now this is the catalyst for him to go forward and continue that sort of form, sort of going into European games and obviously the Premier League games as well. So winding it back a little bit, team lineup wise, some surprises in there with Lamar Bogarde coming in at CDM, Kamara on the bench, but came on later on in the game. Lucadinha getting that recall at left back. Mings getting the nod in front of Pau Torres as well. And then ahead of that, Harvey Elliott getting a start, which was good. But then coming off at half time, Morgan Rogers, playing from the kind of left really and completing 90 minutes. Gasson from the right. And then obviously Ollie Watkins up front. And I think we're seeing a little tweak in the system that Unai is sort of playing now. With it's very clear that the left midfield player, who was Rogers today, and the 10, which was obviously Harvey Elliott in the first half, Buendia in the second, are playing very close together, almost like 2 number 10s. I know Jacob Ramsey sort of did it, tucked in a bit from the left, but Rogers did not spend any time outside on the flank on the left-hand side. There was no, it was almost like Lucadinha was on the left-hand side by himself, and we had Gasson on the right, and then 2 number 10s, which kind of gave a little bit of an imbalance, but it gave us more bodies centrally, which is where we wanted it to be. And then when the ball did go out wide, it was more Ollie Watkins that was making those runs sort of down the channels a little bit, rather than Morgan Rogers. So a little bit of a sort of tactical tweak there, which was interesting to see, and it definitely sort of paid off in this game in particular. Fulham starting the game really strongly. After 2 minutes, first corner of the game, first shot on target, Raul Jimenez beats, I think it's Taro Mings. He gets a run on at the near post and flicks it in. Controversy because it looked like John McGinn was bundled to the ground, but no foul there, and the goal stands, and Fulham are 1-0 ahead after 2 minutes. And after that, you have to say for the first 20 minutes of the game, Fulham were the team that were in the ascendancy. And, Josh King, this young player coming through their academy. I thought he was the older Josh King, but it's their new one. He's 18 years of age. He looks like a really good player. Comfortable on the ball, great dribbling ability, good speed. And he was causing us problems from the flank, from central runs. And, they could have had another penalty or two. I think Josh King went down, going down after Emi Martinez brought him down, but no penalty given there. And then obviously the handball with Matty Cash. But Cash, it's not as though he did that deliberately. That's just a normal kind of reaction to blocking a shot, and it's fallen in our favour. And then King also having a shot as well, which Martinez had to get down low to. And I think the key for this game was Raul Jimenez getting injured quite early as well, because he's a different proposition to someone like Adama Traore, who's all about dribbling and running in behind. And I thought we coped with it really well with that. And Pau Torres coming on early for Taro Mings as well. Again, I think in these sorts of games where we are the protagonist, as Emery likes to say, Pau Torres is crucial to our build-up and his ability to play passes out from the back. But it was his fellow defender, left back Lucadinha, who picks up the ball from Emi Martinez from the rollout, looks up and sends a lovely ball over the top, pinpoint, just skims the top of Joachim Andersen's head and falls to Ollie Watkins, who delightfully kind of lobs the ball over the onrushing Leno and makes it 1-1 with a really good finish, you have to say. That was a really instinctive finish from Ollie Watkins. Had he had a chance to bring it down and think about it, it might have been a different outcome. But I think the instinctiveness of that finish makes the goal. And just before that, John McGinn had a really good opportunity where he's intercepted Fulham playing out from the back, one against the keeper. And you just fancied him to find the bottom corner or roll it into a teammate. I think maybe he was caught in two minds a little bit, but ends up putting it wide. But yeah, Ollie Watkins grabbing the equaliser 5 minutes before half time or so. We didn't have too many chances in that first half. I mean, Harvey Elliott getting hauled off at half time. Not sure if that's an injury. Obviously, Mings, we know it's an injury. McGinn coming off later on in the game with a little bit of an injury, perhaps. So these are all going to be sort of checks for the Feyenoord game on Thursday. But half time comes and Emery makes a bold decision, takes off Harvey Elliott. Doesn't look like any injury to him. Puts in Buendia, and Buendia puts in all of that, tenacity, energy, work rate, desire. He's closing down the angles of the pass, which is what I noticed from him. He's, not allowing the Fulham defenders to have time on the ball. It's a collective closing down of the team as well, with Buendia leading that from the press, really. And he was just really good. He's picking pockets of space. I think Match of the Day did a bit of a spotlight on him and how he was picking up patches in the on the pitch and space and driving towards goal and closing down defenders. And he was just magnificent for me. And then second half comes and we've come out of the traps really quickly. And it's Lamar Bogarde who kind of wins the ball high up the pitch. Buendia picks it up, plays it into John McGinn. McGinn is then driving towards the box on his favoured left foot and smashes it low and hard into the bottom corner. It was a fantastic finish, really, really good finish. Great technique again, like against Bologna, keeping it low, finding the bottom corner. And that's 2-2 for John McGinn now. And you've got to say, he's got to stay in the team. Obviously, Tielemans, not sure about his injury at the moment and what happens there. But the way John McGinn's playing at the moment, he has to stay in the team. He's obviously the captain as well. So, and I thought he was really good in terms of winning the ball back for us, using the ball, getting us started from that sort of deep line midfield. And Bogarde, I want to give a shout out to as well. Again, thought he was strong. He's not everyone's cup of tea. He's very much a ball winner or tries to win the ball. And it was him who won the ball for the McGinn goal. He's not a player who's going to drive with the ball and be elegant with it, but he's someone that will put in effort to win the ball back and sort of put tackles in, which is what you want from a CDM. So shout out to Lamar Bogarde for that. And then straight away, 2 minutes later, we make it 3-1. Again, another good move. Quick passing, Rodgers releasing Dino on the left. Ollie Watkins making a run in behind the fullback, just about stays onside. I think the Fulham right back or right centre back is keeping him onside. And then puts a cross in, which I think was aimed for Morgan Rodgers. A slight deflection on it from the Fulham defender. Falls to Buendia, who's on the 6-yard box line and basically just bundles it home and makes it 3-1 to Aston Villa. And, we're all celebrating there. And Buendia with this leaping up in the air, a lot of frustration. I mean, a lot of people have sort of said, including myself on this, that Buendia was not going to be a good enough player at this level to play for Aston Villa. But for a player to come off the bench and provide energy, he can be that game-changing player. So, I'll be the first to admit that I got it wrong with Buendia in saying that maybe he doesn't have a future or shouldn't be playing, but he definitely took his chance really well here and is well in the reckoning now to probably start on Thursday against Feyenoord. If we're going to go with this, formation where we're playing the 2 10s and one right-hand side and kind of nobody on that left apart from Dino, it looks like. So it'll be interesting to see how we line up against Feyenoord. But 3-1 to Villa at that point. But for some reason, there was still a little bit of nervousness coming into the game. If Fulham got the next goal, then you could just see that, it would be nervous. And Villa needed probably one more just to get everything settled down. The fourth goal didn't come. Played some okay football, had a few other chances. I think Watkins went down claiming a penalty, but on the replay, it looks like he's kicked the floor rather than any sort of contact on him. And yeah, Morgan Rodgers, three key passes today, which is a bit more better from him. Still not up to his usual best. Still needs to get more confidence, but maybe this is a sort of way that would help him. If he's got players around him that are putting in a shift, then obviously he has to do the same. So hopefully we'll see a more inspired Morgan Rogers in the next couple of games against Feyenoord and Burnley. But he was given the 90 minutes again. And that really amazing stat from the first half is that Villa did not put in one successful tackle, which is hard to believe in a Premier League game. 45 minutes or so, 53, wasn't it, including stoppages. No successful tackles in the first half. So Emery obviously got into them at half time. And, we came out and we started winning balls higher up the pitch. The press was higher up the pitch. I thought Pau Torres was really good in defence alongside Konsa. And Konsa obviously clearing one off the line at a crucial point as well. But I think Pau Torres is that player that, helps us build up from defence. Lucadinho was solid enough. I was kind of surprised Martin and Sancho didn't get on the pitch in this game. But in hindsight, maybe it was the right decision. Daniel Marlon coming on late on for Gasson, not really doing much. Gasson doing well defensively, tracking back, learning his position, I suppose, still. Didn't offer too much in attack, if I'm being honest. But maybe hopefully there is much more to come from him. I'm sure there will be. But yeah, it's a victory. Absolutely take it. Up to, I think it's 16th now. Burnley in the next Premier League game at Villa Park on Sunday, which is a winnable game. And if we can win that game, all of a sudden everything's looking a lot better. So I think we have to go into that with a bit of confidence. Got Feyenoord before that at the De Kuip on Thursday. Going to be a tough game going there. Feyenoord are not a great team. Let's be honest. Robin Van Persie is the manager. I'll do a separate preview on that as well. But I've got a feeling that we can go there and get something. If we get a point, fair enough. But I've got a feeling we can even go there and win. But it all depends on lineup, mentality, how we kind of set up, how we attack the game. But I don't think Feyenoord I don't think they're one of the favourites for the Europa League. So I think we can go there and win. But saying that, I'd be happy with a point also as well, and continue going with the unbeaten run. But let's focus on Thursday when that comes around. Few days rest now, hopefully get some bodies back. I'm not sure about Tielemans, Onana, any of them going to be back in contention. Hopefully so. And obviously checking on the injuries of Mings. Was Elliott injured? John McGinn obviously came off towards the end of this game. Is he okay? So there's lots to sort of have a little look at there and seeing what's available. But I'm going to leave it there, Villa fans. But do subscribe to the channel. And I'll be back at you probably tomorrow with a match preview for the Feyenoord game. We'll look ahead to that trip to Rotterdam and have a look at Feyenoord in a bit more detail, who their danger players are, how their season's going, and what we can kind of expect from them. So stay tuned to the channel, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Want to get there as soon as possible. So if you made it this far in the video, hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment as well. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Does Buendia get a start on Thursday now? Has he played himself into the team? Does Rogers continue playing? Gasson, does Marlon deserve a chance again in Europe after impressing against Bologna? So, let me know your thoughts and your lineup for Thursday. But more importantly, 3 points on the board. Let me know your thoughts on this game as well, guys. Take care. Bye for now.